Welcome. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how to translate an English sentence into a mathematical expression. So if you watched my video on how to translate an English sentence into a mathematical equation, this will be similar in that we're still going to be looking for the same keywords and we'll be following the same simple steps. The difference is an equation versus an expression. So an equation means that we're going to have an equal sign. An expression means that we won't. We're just going to have a bunch of numbers and variables possibly being added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided. So, if you haven't yet had a chance to copy down these keywords, I would suggest doing that because it will make life a lot easier when we're working through the problems. So let's take a look at number one. So number one, it says translate this sentence into an expression. Notice I had to change that. And so the English sentence is 9 less than the product of 8 and Jose's height. It says use J to represent Jose's height. Okay, so I'm going to recopy this English sentence so that it's on one line. And here we go. So the first thing I want to establish is what our goal is for this problem. That's always my first step when I'm approaching word problems. I want to write it in my own words. Well, the goal for this problem, it says, is to translate the sentence into an expression. So my goal is to change English words into math sentences. Into a math expression. So, here we go. The first thing, it says 9 less than the product of 8 and Jose's height. So I see a keyword right here which is less than. And if I look at less than, it's going to fall under the operation subtraction. So I know that less than, I'm definitely going to have a minus here. But there's a tricky thing about the way that subtraction is worded. So I want you to imagine a situation where I'm really hungry and I decide I'm going to eat 10 cookies. And then my brother comes along and says, that's not that many. I had 2 less than you had. Well, if I had 10 cookies and my brother had 2 less than I had, how many cookies did he have? Well, he had 8 because 10 minus 2 is 8. But notice the way that I said that. I said that my brother had 2 less than I had, which was 10. But the way we interpreted that mathematically was 10 minus 2. So when we're doing subtraction, this number over here is my total, and this number over here is actually what I'm subtracting. So when it says 9 less than something, what I know is that the 9 is actually going to go over here. Okay, so what am I subtracting 9 from? That's the question. So what I'm subtracting 9 from is the product. Well, what does product mean? Well, if I go back to my list, product means multiply. So I'm subtracting 9 from a multiplication of something. The product of what? Well, the product of 8 and Jose's height. So these are the two things I'm multiplying, and then I'm supposed to subtract 9 at the end. So the product of 8 and Jose's height, the way I would write that is 8 times, they told me to use J for Jose's height, and then I'm subtracting 9 at the end. Okay, let's try number 2. So I want you to give number 2 a try, pause the video, and then restart when ready. Okay, so for number 2, what I see there as a keyword is the word more than, or the words more than. And if you looked in your keywords section, you should have found that under addition. And with addition, order doesn't matter as much as it does with subtraction. Actually, it doesn't matter at all. So 17.1 more than, right away I can write that as 17.1 plus. Well, 17.1 more than what? Well, it says 17.1 more than twice a number. Well, what does twice a number mean? Well, it means 2 times something, and it tells me I'm supposed to use n to represent the unknown number. So that means it must be 17.1 plus 2 times n, which we can write as 2n.